I didn't find out he was cheating the way people warn you about. No lipstick, no late night texts popping up on his phone. I found out because one night, while he was asleep beside me, his phone buzzed, and he whispered someone else's name in his sleep. Not mine. For a moment, I told myself I imagined it, that my mind was just tired. We'd been together for 4 years. We had plans, shared bills, shared friends, shared a future we talked about like it was already guaranteed. But once doubt enters your head, it doesn't leave quietly. It sits there, watching, waiting. Over the next few weeks, I noticed things I'd ignored before. The way he guarded his phone, the way he suddenly cared too much about how he looked before leaving the house, the way he came home emotionally empty, like he'd already spent all his energy somewhere else. I didn't confront him right away. I wanted proof, but more than that, I wanted to be wrong. Then one night, I got it. He was in the shower when his phone lit up on the counter. A message preview appeared on the screen. I missed last night already. My hand started shaking so badly I had to sit down on the bathroom floor. I stared at those words like they might rearrange themselves into something harmless. They didn't. When he came out of the bathroom, towel around his waist, he saw my face and froze. "What's wrong?" he asked. I held up his phone. The silence that followed was louder than any scream. At first, he denied it, said it was nothing, a misunderstanding, a joke taken out of context. He spoke quickly, nervously, like someone trying to outrun the truth. But then I asked one simple question: say her name. He didn't. And that's when I knew everything. The argument that followed wasn't explosive at first. It was slow, heavy, painful. Words dragged out of us like they weighed 100 pounds each. "How long?" I asked. He looked away. "That long?" I said, my voice breaking. He nodded. Something inside me snapped, not into anger, but into disbelief. I had loved this man quietly, consistently. I defended him when others doubted him. I chose him every day without hesitation. And all that time, he was choosing someone else, quietly, selfishly, without ever letting me decide if I wanted to stay. I screamed then, not because I wanted to hurt him, but because I was drowning. He screamed back. He said things I'll never forget, that I was distant, that I was boring, that the other girl made him feel alive, that maybe if I had tried harder, he wouldn't have looked elsewhere. Each word landed like a punch. That was when the argument turned cruel. He brought up my insecurities, my past mistakes, things I had trusted him with in moments of vulnerability, and now he threw them at me like weapons. I realized then that this fight wasn't about fixing anything. It was about winning. At some point, I started crying so hard I couldn't breathe. My chest hurt. My head felt light. And still, he kept talking, justifying, blaming, defending himself like I was the enemy. Finally, I asked him the question I was terrified to hear the answer to. "Do you love her?" He hesitated. That hesitation destroyed me more than a yes ever could have. "I don't know," he said. I laughed, a broken, hollow sound that surprised even me. 4 years and he didn't know? That night ended with him storming out and me curled up on the bedroom floor, surrounded by pieces of a life I thought was solid. He came back the next day, apologetic, regretful, promising it was over, promising it meant nothing. But something had changed. I started noticing how defensive he became whenever I asked questions, how irritated he seemed by my pain, how quickly he wanted me to move on. He wanted forgiveness without accountability, healing without honesty. And when I couldn't give that to him, the fights became worse. He accused me of being dramatic, of living in the past, of ruining what we still had. Every argument followed the same pattern. He cheated, but somehow I was the problem. One night during another brutal fight, he looked at me with pure frustration and said, "Why can't you just let it go?" That's when I finally understood something important. He wasn't sorry he hurt me. He was sorry he had to deal with the consequences. I packed a bag that night. He watched from the doorway, arms crossed, like he was waiting for me to change my mind. I didn't. Leaving didn't feel powerful. It felt terrifying, like stepping into darkness without knowing where you'd land. But staying would have meant shrinking yourself to survive someone else's guilt. Weeks passed, then months. I rebuilt slowly, painfully. Some days I missed him so much it physically hurt. Other days I felt relief so deep it scared me. He tried to come back, sent messages, apologies, late-night confessions about how he finally realized what he lost. But by then, I had learned something I wish I'd known earlier. Love doesn't cheat. Love doesn't humiliate. Love doesn't ask you to bleed quietly so someone else can stay comfortable. That argument didn't just end our relationship. It ended the version of me who thought love meant enduring pain. And I will never be her again.